Hi my loves, it's Colby Cherie and I am back again with another video. I know I haven't sat down and did one of these like talking life update videos in a very long time, but that's what we're here for today. I really haven't done a lot of these talking videos because I have not always been comfortable in my own voice. And so I think that this will be a great challenge for me to start talking more on YouTube. For me, doing the vlogs and recording like everyday life or like the wholesome content, that's a lot easier than turning on the camera and talking to a camera about how I feel or what's just going on in my life. It may be easy for some people, but that is not easy for me. So I think that as I mature, I'm just learning how to be more comfortable in my own skin and also in my own voice. So I think that this will be a good challenge for me. Let me know if y'all like these talking videos because I'll definitely be incorporating more of it. If you're struggling with this too, maybe this will help you to be able to just speak more, speak about your thoughts, speak on things. And yeah, that's what we're here to do today. So what I'll be talking about today is how I found my ideal husband, but the gag is that he doesn't know I exist. Well, he technically does know I exist, but he doesn't. And let me explain that. I have to speed this up because I literally have like maybe less than an hour before the sun goes down. It's not like I'm actively seeking a partner right now. I prefer for things to just happen naturally. When I get a husband, my husband's gonna find me. I'm not actively seeking a husband. So let's make that very clear. But I am preparing myself for when we eventually cross paths. Don't be looking at my house. Anyways, so to begin, I was casually just browsing through TikTok one day when I came across this very, very fine man. Okay, so let me paint y'all a picture. He was of Asian descent, lots of tattoos, big old toned, strong arms, nice toned, muscular back. Overall, just a really attractive man. Like, I'm telling y'all, I will literally marry that man tomorrow if he asks. I am a girly who is drawn to arms and back and just big muscles and stuff like that. So if you're a man that is in shape, I'm instantly gonna be attracted to you physically. That doesn't mean like I'm gonna instantly fall in love with you or like even like you, but just know I'm looking. I'm gonna look, okay? My initial intent was just to enjoy his appearance while I was on TikTok. He was on a live stream. And so I'm like, I'm just scrolling through TikTok and I'm like, who is this? I see his live stream just randomly pop up and I'm like, who is this fine man? So I clicked on it obviously, and then he started speaking and oh my gosh. When I tell you this man had the most sexiest voice ever that I've ever heard in life, he just became like 10 times more attractive. His voice just added this like layer of attractiveness. Hold on y'all, I have to look it up because you really have to understand how sexy this man's voice is. So let me look up the perfect way to describe it. So I had to find the right term to describe his voice. The best way to describe his voice is throaty. He has a very throaty voice, and I will put the definition of throaty up here, probably somewhere right here, so you'll know. But that's how his voice was. He's tall, probably like I don't even know, maybe 6'3", 6'4". I like tall men. And his words weren't trivial. He was actually speaking like wisdom and giving free game and just giving a lot of great insight on different topics and things. It was a lot of different messages that he gave on his live that was geared towards women because obviously he is a very attractive man. So he's gonna have a really huge female following. He was just basically describing like his beliefs and what he finds attractive in a woman and talking about his faith and this and that and everything that he said. I just wanted to just listen. Not only because he had the sexiest voice ever, he was very articulate and he was just speaking about things that actually mattered and made sense, and it was easy for me to follow. And a lot of what he said resonated with my own beliefs and values. Now, I didn't necessarily agree with everything he was saying. For example, he made a statement about how women dress for the male gaze, and he was like so certain on that statement that like there was a bunch of women in his comments just saying like, no we don't, like it's 2023, we're still dressing for men, blah blah blah. And I didn't agree with that at all, because as a woman I can speak for myself and say that I do not dress for the male gaze. If anything, I feel like women dress for other women, like getting dolled up, going out, and then getting a million compliments from other girls, other women. Like, we eat that shit up. We love that. And I'm sure my girls that are watching this can attest to that. Like, y'all, you just feel so good about yourself. The last thing I'm thinking about is how a man's gonna perceive it, or what a man's gonna think about it. So I didn't agree with that. I felt like we could agree to disagree on that. It is what it is. But anyway, I spent about a week like consistently getting on his live streams. I'm not even gonna lie. I was on his live streams every day, just tuning into what he had to say. He talked a lot about relationships and just a bunch of other valuable information that I could use. I love someone that I can learn from. So I stayed and watched those live streams consistently, literally for like a week. It might sound a little creepy, but I literally fell in love with this man over a live stream on TikTok. Even though we've never met in person and we don't actually really know each other, I guess that's like the essence of it. I was strongly convinced that I found my husband, and if he's not my husband, then I found the ideal version of my husband. Like, he literally gave out the blueprint of what I want my husband to be like. And you know, he's probably not my future husband. That's probably just me being delulu. But I thought to myself, well, if he's not the one, then he is certainly the blueprint of what I want or what I desire in a man. I came across a man who, if he's not my husband, then he perfectly embodies the qualities that I seek in a life partner. And I'm not just referring to like the physical attributes, because obviously those fade, but just a real connection that extends to an intellectual level as well, if that makes sense. So after spending a week like getting on his live streams, asking him questions, and just gaining insight from a male perspective, I realized how actually valuable it was. You know, I'm gonna be honest, it's been really, really hard for me to connect with men and understand their viewpoints, because y'all know a lot of men are out here online speaking straight up nonsense. There's a lot of men online with mics, and they literally have just went off like with the mics, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So I haven't really taken the time to really listen to a man's insight, a man's perspective in a very long time, until I seen my future husband. And I was like, oh my gosh, why aren't all men like you? Like, you're literally perfect. You're the blueprint of a perfect man. And I know that there's no such thing, obviously, as a perfect man, but my ideal perfect man, that is the blueprint. Like, I wish I could show y'all this man, but I don't want to look too creepy, so I'm not going to show y'all. But just picture it in your head of how I was describing him. But after that, I took some time to reflect and jot down some different qualities and attributes that I desire in a man, specifically a husband. Like, not a boyfriend, a husband. I'm done with the just dating to be dating. Like, I'm so past that phase at 27 years old. If I'm dating you, I'm dating you with the intention of marrying you. And so if you're not ready for that, then you're not ready for me. You're not it for me. You know, I've come to a point where dating is no longer my priority. Well, to think about it, I haven't really dated that many people, but I don't feel the need to actively like pursue it anymore. I know, like, when I first moved to a different city, I was on the dating apps, which I do not recommend. Stay off the dating apps. If you're a woman actively seeking a husband, do not go looking for it on those dating apps. No shade to the people who have already found their husbands on dating apps, because I do know some people who have found their husband and it worked for them. So not to say it doesn't work for everybody, but in 2023, y'all just we just have to be careful. We have to be safe. And a lot of these men on these dating apps are looking for one thing, okay? Looking for one thing. Ladies, please be careful. Also, men, be careful too, because there's a lot of women who are gold diggers out here, and we just both need to be safe. So anyways, I'm no longer dating to just date. Like, once I find my person, we're locked in for life. What's the song? Once we locked in, ain't no switching up. Once we locked in, ain't no switching up. I think that's the song. I don't know, but yeah, once we're locked in for life. That's it. We're not just dating out here to just be dating and just to have fun. Like, no, I'm so past that point. It's even funny for me to think when I was 18, 19 years old, I literally would only agree to dates just for the food. To be honest, if I dated you back in 2018, 2019, I mostly dated you for the food. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be real. I dated you just to get some free food. I'm not like that anymore. I matured and I don't have time to be just dating people for silly stuff like getting some free food. But back in the day, oh yeah, if you offered to take me out on a date, 9 times out of 10, I was only saying yes so that I could get free food from you. Sorry. I was young, what can I say? Anyway, I hadn't delved too deeply into, like my ideal husband. I never really thought of it until after I found the blueprint, what I desire in a man, in a husband. And so I decided to write some things down, just a few, and I'll share them with y'all because it's a lot, but it's not too much to ask for. I know it's out there. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all some of the things that I would like in a husband, just for fun. I'm running out of time. The sun is going down. Okay, so let's focus. If you're not these things, I want to tell you now, stay out of my DMs, okay? Please don't waste your time. I don't mean to sound like mean or cocky or anything like that, but if you do not embody some of these qualities that I'm getting ready to explain, get out of my DMs, okay? You don't have a chance, all right? A God-fearing man is number one. Like, if you're not that, then you're simply just not for me. And I think that statement speaks for itself. So I'm not going to go too in depth about that. I want a respectful man. In the past, I have dealt with very disrespectful men. And as I've gotten older, I don't put up with the BS anymore. I don't put up with the disrespect because I'm not the type to disrespect you, so don't disrespect me. And I think that just comes with age because I used to be very shy and reserved and just really want to hurt people's feelings and always would say yes. I guess more of a people pleaser, and I'm not that anymore. So I need a respectful man. I need a man who knows how to communicate. A man who is emotionally available. I need you to be in touch with your emotions. I need you to be self-aware, and I need you to be okay with being vulnerable. Vulnerability is a huge thing for me. You have to know how to be vulnerable. I know for men it's a little bit harder because as men, they've always been taught to, be hard and be macho man and not show emotions, or it's weak to cry, but that's not true. And I think we're all starting to realize, that. What I was trying to say here that got all mixed up was that there's a lot of things that weren't taught to us as children, and so we've had to learn them as an adult, or we had to reteach ourselves the truth because a lot of what we learned was a lie. I need an emotionally available man. Because if you're emotionally unavailable, you can't be there for me emotionally. As women, we are just emotional beings, and I know a couple years back, I just was not in control of my emotions at all. I'm gonna be super transparent with y'all. I was just emotionally, I was an emotional wreck. And I remember an individual that I used to date actually called me that. And at the time, my feelings were hurt. I'm like, what are you talking about? How dare you say I'm an emotional wreck? But no, now that I look back on it, years later, I realized I was a complete emotional wreck. And so now that I've learned to not allow my emotions to control me, even though emotions come and go and it's a constant battle, I feel like for women, just because our bodies are constantly changing and we're just emotional beings, that's something that I've definitely had to work on. And so if you're emotionally unavailable and I'm someone who is in touch with their emotions, it's just, we're gonna clash. It's just not gonna work. So you gotta be emotionally available. And we need to have the same family values too, obviously. A man with a good sense of humor, that's a huge one for me too. I wanna have fun and I wanna be silly together. I want someone that's my best friend, and someone who doesn't take life so seriously. Let's laugh, let's go and do random stuff. And especially, this is also another big one for me, a man who is handy. So I need a handy man, okay? Build me a house, tend to a garden, fix my car. I need you to not be afraid to get your hands dirty, and you need to know how to fix things and build things, because if you don't do it, then who is? Because I'm not good at that at all. I'm not a handy girl, so I need a handy man. Like, I need a manly man who is not afraid to get his hands dirty. And then last but not least, you have to be fit and in shape and into health, okay? Gym is a lifestyle for me, and I need someone that is on that same mindset and level. Those are just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. I thought it'd be fun to include that in this video. So moral of the story is, I feel like Keith Lee doing this. Moral of the story is that I finally have the blueprint of what I want my husband to be like. And I will never, ever settle again until we cross paths. Like, I will literally stay single for the rest of my life before I ever settle again in life for anything. But especially in a mate, especially in a relationship, especially in a life partner, I will never settle again in life. Been there, done that, never again. I vow to stay single until I find the man of my dreams. And I know he's out there, and that's not even something that like I'm really focused on right now. It's just something that I have in mind, and I now know what I want. So when that thing comes, I know it's that. I know that's my husband. When it comes, I won't be oblivious to the fact that that's exactly what I want, because now that I know that, my radar is on, so I'll know. I think that just about wraps up what I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, I didn't mention all of the things that I have on my list because it's super long, and I just feel like it's good for me. I know what I need, I know what I want, and so I don't necessarily have to share everything. I just felt like this would be a fun video to share with you guys. So I hope you like it. I hope it made sense. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on this topic. I will see you in my next video. I hope that you guys have an amazing November. How is it November already? I do not know. My birthday is in a few weeks, so I'm excited for that. But anyways, I'm done rambling. Until next time.